What is up, everybody? We are back here for the King Film Sports 2023 NFL Week 1 picks and predictions. Back here after a long offseason and excited to get started with this one as we just had the conclusion of the NFL preseason. So a lot of predicting time. Reminder that I already did my season-long predictions there. I have that tagged up in the right-hand corner for you all there. And we're going to be switching the format of these videos just a bit. Last year, I only covered the betting locks in these videos, but in this year's videos, I'm going to be doing the betting locks on a separate Discord, which I'll also link. First link in bio there, where we are very profitable with our gambling picks. Last year on our NFL long season pass, we won over 61 units there, around 25 in the NFL, 14 in college football, 21 in college basketball. If you guys want to tail our NFL season-long gambling picks, remember to join the Discord there and sign up when you can. And so I'm going to be going through all the games, all 16, giving you guys my analysis and predictions there. And then for each week, I'm going to be giving you guys my one free lock of the week there. So hopefully those are very profitable for all you. And for week 1, that is going to be this Niners at Steelers game down there. So we started out with the season opener, Lions at the Chiefs here. Big game, ring ceremony game for this Chiefs team, and a little bit of uncertainty as I'm recording this video, as we don't know if Chris Jones will hold out to that Week 8 date. I assume that he will put down his sword and end up playing for the team this year, but that could be scary for a Chiefs defense, which it did get better near the end of the last season, and it's younger, gaining more experience, but the way that Lions offense was moving this last year, I think that this might be a shootout. But the Lions defense does have a lot of holes, so give me the Chiefs in this one. I just think that the chemistry between Mahomes, Kelsey, that offensive line, and then you've got Pacheco and McKinnon in the backfield, along with a receiving core that is young, but I'm hearing has been improving a lot. They've got Justin Ross there, who's been getting a lot of reps, and I've heard good things out of him from training camp. You've also got Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore there as well, so give me the Chiefs to win that one comfortably on Thursday Night Football there. Then we get to the Sunday slate, where we've got the Panthers at the Falcons here. A lot of uncertainty surrounding these two teams. You've got Bryce Young versus Desmond Ridder. I mean, these two rosters have a lot of holes there. I'm tentatively going to be picking the Falcons. Not too confident in that pick just because they're at home here. Gives them the edge. Ridder, I'm not too high on him, but he has a lot of offensive firepower. If their offensive line is good, they can get that running game down, and then he can sprinkle it to Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Then you've also got Bijan, who can be good in the receiving game. They're expecting big things for him this season. I just think that the Panthers' offensive line is going to be pretty weak, and Bryce Young might be in for a disastrous start here. Even though I might be high on him as a quarterback long-term in the league, I think that his start is going to be rough there, giving the Falcons at home. Then we've got the Ravens and the Texans. Similar for the young quarterback, C.J. Stroud, on a tough Texans roster here, tough Texans offense. I think that the Ravens are going to mop the floor with Houston here at home. I expect big things from Lamar and OBJ in his first game as a Raven there. So give me the Ravens to win big against Houston here. I believe in the Texans that they might get it down in the long term later on the season, but this should be a rebuilding year for C.J. Stroud and the boys. So give me Ravens there. Huge. Next, we get to a big game between the Bengals and Browns, and I have flip-flopped on this game so much, but give me the Browns narrowly here. I expect Joe Burrow to be fine from that calf strain. That doesn't really weigh into this prediction, but just the way that the Bengals have looked these past few seasons, even with Joe Burrow against this Browns team, has scared me from picking them. Remember on Halloween when the Browns were looking like a horrible team, and then at home last year, they just had a beatdown of the Bengals by 30-plus points there, and that one with Jacoby Brissett as quarterback. I'm expecting big things from Deshaun Watson this season. In the long term, I think the Bengals are probably the better team, but just the home environment here, week 1, big expectations for the Browns. I think that they will get it done in a very close game against the Bengals, so give me them there. Next, we got the Jags at the Colts. I do not think this game will be as close as the prior one. Give me the Jags here big in Indianapolis. I am not too bullish on Richardson. I think he's a long-term project, and I think he was overdrafted at that number 4 spot there. I think he is in for one against this Jags defense here. I know he looked decent in some of those preseason games, but he will not be ready for the action here with Shane Steichen's offense and that personnel. We'll see if Jonathan Taylor is even on the team at that point, because if he's not, I mean, this Colts team will be in big trouble there. And then you've got Trevor Lawrence. He looked great in the second half of last season and played decently in those 2 games in that playoff run there. So give me the Jags in the experience here in Indy against a division rival. Next, we get to the Bucks and the Vikings here in Minnesota. I think this is a classic Vikings spot, although wouldn't be too surprised because Baker Mayfield does have these games where he does go off. Don't believe in him and Tampa Bay so much in the long term, but just think the Vikings are a much better team here at home. We'll see Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, how Kirk Cousins is looking with that new handlebar mustache. I just think that he and this Vikings offense outclasses the Bucks offense there with Baker Mayfield, who has been looking like trash apparently in preseason and training camp there. So give me the Vikings there big. Next, we get to the Titans at the Saints, and I am not sure who to pick here. Saints are at home, so I'll go with them tentatively, but not too confident in that prediction. We'll see how Derek Carr looks in this new offense. Tannehill's been with the Titans for years, but seems like they're regressing there, even though they got D-Hop in the offseason. It will be interesting to see this Saints offense now that they've got Jamal Williams. Kamara has kind of been in and out of the lineup these past few seasons, and same thing with Michael Thomas. We'll see how he looks, along with Chris Olave. That Saints defense has always been a staple, though, these last few years, and the Tennessee defense has a lot of holes, so that is my reasoning for picking New Orleans there. In addition to them being in the season Superdome, those fans will be hyped for the start of the season there. Next, we get to the Niners at the Steelers, and this is my free gambling pick of the week. Give me the Niners minus the 2.5 here in Pittsburgh. Now, I know that Pittsburgh is a very tough place to play, especially week 1. Those fans will be juiced, but you just cannot tell me that the Steelers match up in any way against this Niners roster. I think that the Niners have the best roster in the league, 1-53, especially 2-53, although I think Purdy will be pretty good this year, and I think he's a better quarterback than Pickett. But even if you think that they're around equal, I just do not think that the Steelers can match up. Sure, their defense will be good, but just that Niners offensive personnel, they will have to force multiple mistakes from Purdy here, and I think even if he's just a game manager in this one, the Niners will win big there. I think Pickett will have trouble against this Niners defensive line and then linebacking core there. I think that the Niners will get up early. Pickett will make a few mistakes, so give me the Niners there. Only laying 2.5. I mean, that's a quasi money line spot. That's just far too little points there for the Niners to be laying, so I think that is a must play there in Pittsburgh for the Niners to win that big. Next, we go to the Cardinals at Commanders, two teams that will be in the dumpster here for me this season, but someone's got to win it, and give me the Commanders too at home. Sam Howell, this is his first time starting as the Commanders' long-term quarterback here, and I think he gets it done. Just think that the Cardinals are reeling a bit here. They're starting Colt McCoy, so I'm going to take the Commanders here with little confidence, but we'll see how that one turns out. Next, we go to the Packers at the Bears, two young starting quarterbacks in this one, and a new era for the rivalry as Aaron Rodgers is now gone. The Bears have been owned by the Packers. This is a chance for them to win. I'm narrowly going to go with the Packers here just because I like their overall roster better. Now, I would favor Justin Fields over Jordan Love, but I don't know how Jordan Love is going to look. I'm not too high on Justin Fields, and if Jordan Love is looking like how the beat reporters have said he is and how he's been looking in preseason and camp, going into his 4th year this year after all that tutelage from Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he might be a better quarterback at this point than Justin Fields, although that might be a little bit of a bold take there. Just give me the Packers here, like their overall roster, although they are going into a tough environment in Chicago. The Bears need a win over the Packers. I don't think they've won over them in the past 3 or 4 years here. Rivalry game, I think it'll come down to the last minute here, but narrowly taking Green Bay and their running game there. Next, we go to another divisional battle here, Raiders at Denver, and give me Denver to win this one at home. I expect big things from this Raiders offense now that they just signed Josh Jacobs. I also like Zamir White, their other running back. Their offensive line isn't great, but you've also got Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams on the outside. It's more so the Raiders defense has just been abysmal these last few years. Ranked last in the league last year. They did sweep the Broncos, though, but I think that Russell Wilson will improve here with Sean Payton as the head coach. And then that Broncos defense was top 5 in the league last year. I expect them to stay around there, so give me the Broncos to win in the mile high there. I think their fans will be hyped to improve upon last season. Next, we get to the Dolphins at the Chargers, and give me the Chargers to win this one at home. I just favor Herbert in this Chargers offense over Tua and the Dolphins, even though the Dolphins might have the better skill personnel. I'd like the Chargers, and theirs is pretty good as well. I like Johnson, the receiver out of TCU, and then obviously you've got Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and not to mention Austin Eckler out of the backfield there. And the Chargers, they always kind of degrade over the course of the season with all these injuries, but that defense with all their stars on it in the beginning of the season will be wreaking havoc with this Dolphins offensive line, which had some holes on it at the end of last year, so I think that the Chargers win that one comfortably at home. Next, we get to an interesting matchup between the defending NFC champion Eagles and the Patriots here. I do think that Bill Belichick can dial some things up against this Jalen Hurts offense in week 1. Maybe they don't have all their chemistry dialed up yet, but I just do not think that the Patriots offense can hang with Jalen Hurts in this Eagles team, so give me Philly to reign supreme there against the Patriots. We'll see what Bill O'Brien does as the Patriots offensive coordinator there and how Mac looks, but I just do not have enough confidence in them to pick them to win that game there. Next, we get to the NFC West showdown here, Rams at the Seahawks, and this one's pretty easy for me. Give me Seattle big there at home at Lumen Field. I think that Geno and this high-powered Seattle offense will have something to prove this year against a reeling Rams defense with a lot of holes there. Excited to see that wide receiver trio, Smith and Jigba, Metcalf, and Lockett, and then you've also got some high-powered running backs there with Kenny Walker. See how they look in this one, and then I think that Seahawks defense has been improving as well. We'll see how Stafford and Kupp come back from their injuries there, but much more confident in the established Seahawks. So give me them at home. And then we get the rivalry matchup, Cowboys-Giants on Sunday Night Football here. Excited for this one. Give me the Cowboys narrowly to win this one at home. I just like their talent, and I like Dak Prescott. Do not think he's an elite quarterback, but I think he's much better than Daniel Jones. Think he's vastly overpaid there. So give me this Cowboys team with Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, and CeeDee Lamb there. Great offensive line, and I just think that their roster in totality is better than the Giants, and I like Dak in the clutch situation much more than I like fraudulent Daniel Jones there. So give me the Cowboys to win it in New York. Next game also played in MetLife the next day. The Bills at the Jets. This one will be a great game. Spread is about 1.5 to 2 points, so Vegas is expecting a close one here. Give me the Bills to win, though. Josh Allen and this Bills team will have stuff to prove after all of the drama in the offseason, the disappointing playoff loss there, and obviously the saga that ensued from that Damar Hamlin tragic situation. I think that they will come out guns blazing in this one, and Aaron Rodgers, been a lot of talk this offseason, but I think they will have to shore up that offensive line, and I think that their defense might regress a little in that one, so give me the Bills to win that one and steal the show in Aaron Rodgers' opening game at home there. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comments down below. Where do you disagree with me? Do you agree with the Niners -2.5, our free gambling pick? Remember to like and subscribe and also join our Discord, top link in bio there. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.